Welcome to the Weird Alley Show, a show that has no filters and is about really anything. A little chaos can set the soul free. I talk about what I want and what I think needs to be heard by you, the people. So, welcome to the show.
One, two, three, funk it.
So, in today's episode, we've actually got quite a few things on the docket. A few interesting things have happened over the couple of days. I think the biggest one that I really want to talk about is what's happening with Kanye West right now. I mean, it's super sad to see someone's decline mentally live for everyone to see. I mean, I really wouldn't want that to happen to anyone. Really, for you know, everyone to see you slowly losing your grip with sanity. I mean, and not on. I mean, I can only imagine the stress that Kanye has to go through. You can see living with the Kardashians, and they can be a very dramatical. They make money from drama and reality TV, and it would be quite ignorant to say that with Kanye marrying Kim, I mean, like he knew what he was getting into. I mean, be around that all the time, and from as far as what I know, Kanye has never been one. I've never been in front of any cameras, or I've never been experienced to that kind of cameras in his backyard. It would be really, really uncomfortable. A side note of what's really going on, another stressful point in his life is that he's currently running for president. I mean, the polls aren't in his favor, but I mean, it can be really stressful knowing that a lot of people don't want to see you win, and that can be pretty stressful for anyone. And the real takeaway from this is that mental health is a real thing, no matter who you are, no matter what your status is, no matter how much money that you have. I mean, mental health can be a debilitating thing. And I just learned today that, and I never knew this. I had suspicions, but Kim went on Instagram today and posted that Kanye actually suffers from bipolar disorder. And for a lot of you that don't really know what bipolar disorder is, let me summarize it and really just say this. Someone who's bipolar, when they're like their highs are like super super high. So when they're happy, they're super super happy, and they do things that they wouldn't necessarily do, and if they're really sad, I mean, like they get really, really sad. I mean, they get bummed out. And you can see from Kanye's tweets. I mean, when you do have bipolar disorder, your emotions tend to get the best of you. And what happened was Kanye went on an erratic tweeting spree and just started tweeting things consecutively, like minute by minute, of throwing out claims that Kim and her mother were trying to 50-51 him, which basically means that they were trying to forcefully put him into a mental home or mental care, and various other things, claiming that Meek Mill had slept with his wife and that he's been trying to divorce him. And that's kind of the sporadic thinking that happens, or the sporadic statements that happen. It just comes out all consecutive and jumbled. And I'm not gonna downplay what he said. There could be some merit to it. Absolutely, there could be some truth behind what Kanye is saying, but that could be the stigma behind mental health could cover the truth behind it. um, and really, it's really sad, and I don't think anyone should put him down. And I do think that Kanye should get the help that he really needs. And I don't think people should put him down for trying to get the help that he so rightly deserves. And I really wish Kanye the best, and I do hope that he does get the help that he needs. On the next topic, we have one of my favorite people on the planet. Oh, this man just makes my blood boil. But Donald Trump posted on Twitter a couple days ago. It was a photo of him wearing a mask. And if you've been following what's been happening, Trump and a lot of the Republican Party believe that there are no uses to masks, and that masks don't really protect you from anything. And it's kind of a bold statement to say that masks don't really protect you from anything. If they didn't, I would like to understand why uh, the copious amounts of surgeons and healthcare professionals have been using it over the years and have had zero complaints. But what he did was he posted a Twitter quote with him wearing a mask, and it was just gray esque. Came in the form of a propaganda type of post. But this is what the post said. It said, "We are united in our effort to defeat the invisible China virus. And many people say that it is patriotic to wear a face mask when you can't socially distance. There is nobody more patriotic than me, your favorite president." And it's kind it's quite outstanding. I mean, the way that Trump moves the goalpost, it's quite astonishing how he pivots and does these very unfair pivots. I mean, it's insane for someone to do a quick 180 like that out of nowhere to go from saying that masks basically don't help with fighting off the virus to there is nobody more patriotic than me, your favorite president, and calling the coronavirus the invisible China virus. I mean, in essence, I mean, not even in essence, in reality, it is true. The coronavirus is invisible, quote unquote, and it is a virus from China. But I mean, as the president of the United States, you could just call it what the virus is called instead of stooping that low. It's I as you can see, I'm very speechless. Every day, it's something new with His Royal Highness. But to move on to another topic, we've got some crazy stuff happening in Portland right now. There have been, I think Portland has been one of the strongest places that have been keeping up to date with the protests, and they really haven't slowed down. I mean, it's been 54 days, almost 3 months, consistently and consecutively. Things, according to some sources, things have gotten a little out of control, but nothing that the local police can't handle. I mean, with every protest, you are going to have the outliers. You are going to have just people that are going to be there just to be assholes and cause trouble. But that shouldn't take away from what the meaning of the protests, what the protests stand for. And what's currently happening is that President Trump has deployed secret police to arrest and detain people without any type of identifying factors. There was a protester by the name of Matt Pettibone, and he was one of the people that was scooped up and basically kidnapped by armed, unidentifiable men. And he goes on to say this. He says, "I am basically tossed into the van, and I had my beanie pulled over my face so I couldn't see, and they held my hands over my head." And, you know, he was one of the people that was detained. He was at the demonstration that night, and the only thing that he did wrong was he happened to be wearing black on a sidewalk in downtown in Portland during that time. There was nothing to signify that he was a threat and he hadn't committed any crime. He was basically kidnapped, and if I'm correct, that should be against one of the amendments of the Constitution. Police should identify themselves, regardless of how President Trump wants to play it off. That they want to that the reason that they're hiding their faces or There's no identifiable factors, is that they're trying to protect their identities. But these are, at the end of the day, these are officers. These are public servants. They should identify themselves. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, to have secret police running amok, throwing people into vans, it's similar to what the SS was doing in 1938 in Germany, just going around basically rounding up Jews for no apparent reason, and it's terrifying. It's terrifying what that kind of power unchecked um, could lead to. But that's what I have for today. I'll be back next week with another episode, another update. Thank you for watching the Weird Alley Show, and I really hope everyone has a great week. Take care, stay safe. Bye.
And it goes a little something like.
You are summer and after fall, I'll keep you are summer and after fall, I'll keep you are summer and after fall, I'll keep you are summer and after
Yeah.